And welcome back to another episode of Himself and the Ninja podcast with myself, Steve Lowry, with my partner in crime, as usual, Colin Bourne, aka the Cervical Ninja. And this week we have, is it back on? The return of the boss man, Andy Ryan, head coach and founder of Team Ryano, and one of the OGs of the Irish MMA scene. So I think before we get into it, how are you coping with all this lockdown, Andy?
Yeah, I'm loving it. It's like a long holiday for me.
I see you've been practicing your wheelies out the back.
Yeah, I went and got a bike. Went to that bike institute in Dorset Street, and I got a bike. And got a couple of bikes actually off them. Got the young one's boyfriend bought one, and I brought a couple of bikes in. Got serviced off. So great guys in there, looked after me well. Really looked after me. Threw a few bits and pieces in. So I've been out on the bike. Yeah,
it's good, isn't it, Andy? Just getting out on the bike. It's good for the head.
Yeah, I have a race or a good Claude Butler racing bike, but I wanted something that I can go to the park on. And I'm actually, my judo coach is actually 75, and I'm still training with him. So what we do is Tuesday, Thursday, I cycle down to the park. It's about 3 miles. Cycle down, we lock the bikes up, and then we do a run in the park. Then we run for about 3 or 4 miles, and then we cycle about 10k around the park, then up and down the hills like fucking kids. So it's been a crack.
How are you finding the running again? Is it hurting your knees, or did you do anything different?
No, I'm actually enjoying the running. I'm actually enjoying it. I used to run never far, like 10k is probably every day, and maybe a 10, 15 miler on a Friday night I used to do, and stuff like that when I was competing in the judo. So I was looking sort of back saying, when was I my most evilest on the mat or my best on the mat? And it was always when I ran. So I'll be back running. I'll be here running now next month, back running. Now I'm only doing 3, 4, 5k, probably 4 or 5 times a week. But I'm not breaking any records. I'm not breaking any records. I'm just doing it for my own self. You know what I mean?
But the knees aren't sore, are they?
No.
I see. Are you out with Reds? I see Reds is putting in some serious kilometres on the bike. I seen him in Greg one evening and a whole other evening.
No, they're too young and too fit for me. I do my own thing.
I suppose myself and Colin were talking last week. We said we'll do a type of reeling in the years, as in we look back at the very beginning of the scene in Ireland. What was your first ever show to go to in Ireland?
First show? Like proper show?
No, as in the first, because I had explained last week to Colin, I was telling him, like, I remember you brought me up to the Sunday shows in the EF4, and there was matches made on the day.
Yeah, even before that, we would have done shows in the Europa and other ones on the mats where you went up to the north. 98, 99, Tom Lamont and Paddy Mooney used to run shows up there. And you turn up, the mat area would be down, and you have 1 fight or 3 fights, and the rules would be made up in the fucking day. But that was sort of the start. But Paddy Mooney was the first one really to start running shows up in Belfast. He used to do shows in a couple of hotels up there, the Europa and stuff. And you found who you fought on the day. You didn't know who you were fighting until then, because there was no Facebook and Instagram shit around like that. So you went up, and whoever was roughly your height and weight, you had a fight against. I fought with my judo suit on.
Do you have video of that, Andy?
I don't know. I tell you what, I do have a video of. I was only saying this a couple of weeks ago to someone. I have a video of me, John Cabinet, Dave Roach, and Hodger Gracie all training and rolling together in the squash court. And I have Hodger Gracie's first seminar in Dublin as a purple belt or a blue belt he could have been. And I have a competition in 2000, 20 years ago. And I'm in it, John's in it, Bill McCann's in it, John Donnelly's in it. We're all competing in a grappling tournament in Ireland 20 years ago.
You showed me the video of that in the gym the last time I was over. You should bang it up on YouTube at least, just so it's safe. You know, that kind of like.
Try get someone to put it into a format that's try get it where you can get it digitally and put it.
All you nerds do all that stuff. I don't know how to do any of that nerdy stuff.
I tell you, the first proper show that you brought me to was the Ring of Truth, and you had me doing a runner from the change room, and I remember Richie Moore walked out with the big cross on his back. Do you remember that? In the boxing stadium.
Oh yeah. That was one of
the. See that? The Ring of Truth too. Look at that.
There you go. Look at
Yeah. But I'll tell you that one of the best ever shows was the Cage through either one or two in the Donovan complex. You had, I think, fucking Neil Seary could have fighting on that. Conor McGregor, Cottle Pendard. There was a load of good guys. Like Gunny, I think, fought in it. There was a load of guys in that fought. Ash Daly, all of that little club.
Was that Gunny fought the Polish guy?
Would have been. I'm not too sure.
And he got his brown belt, and he was like, "I'm white belt." Do you remember that?
Yeah, Peter. That was Peter something. I can't think the second name.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tom Egan fought on that card. I think Tom fought a big Lithuanian guy. Neil Searley fought a guy from Barry Oglesby. Do you remember that fight?
Yeah, great fight. One of the best fights ever.
Yeah, your mum was a toy boxer. Neil was cut to pieces. I remember, what's that doctor's name from Belfast?
Yeah.
He was trying to look in. He's like, "Oh, I'm going to stop that. And it was like, it was back in the good old days, but there was like people right up the cage, and the doctor's like, "Oh, I'm trying to get a good look at it." But I think Neil finished him, didn't he?
He did, he did.
KO, I think. But there were some good. There were some good scraps in that down the Mead Hall. What's the plan going forward now? With obviously all the gyms are after closing, but are we going to see a return of Battle Zone or?
Well, that was the plan. That was coming back. It was actually going to be up the north. We were actually getting a little bit of help and a little bit of backing to get it up and running. But that's put on hold now. So I'm sort of gone off the shows a little bit. I don't know whether you get bored out or the hassle and the time you put into them. It's draining. I think I'm a big fan of the
realise that, Andy, do they? Like, people don't realise the amount of time. I remember for a couple of the Battle Zone shows, you said to me, right, match the amateur card. And there was some nights where from 7 o'clock in the evening till probably 1 o'clock in the morning, you'd be getting texts and replies with fellas pulling out or excuses, and you're trying to find another fella. It's a total nightmare behind the scenes to actually put on a show.
But that's because amateurs think they're fucking pros. Like you look at any other sport, you look at, say, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or a young fella in a boxing club. He doesn't have a fucking 12-week training camp to have a bleeding boxing fight on Saturday night. He's just doing his normal training and he competes. That's different as a professional when you're getting paid and there's a lot of work going into when you're having a camp and you've expenses and you're fighting. But as an amateur, you should be in there all the time. And that's 20 fights, that's the way it should be. Amateurs should be competing all the time. Forget about the records. Records is a joke. Imagine jiu-jitsu players only and looking at their records and 1 and this and I'm 10. Fuck that. You compete. I got a bronze this week. Went down 4th round next week. No big deal. More competition should be emphasised more in competition, than the event type of thing, I think. For amateurs anyway.
And is there a way to do that, Andy?
Well, the IMAFs is the way to do it, I think. You know what I mean? Right. IMAFs is great. IMAF structure is great. Or just have more and more fights. Like, let lads fight at the sort of a near enough weight they're walking around at, so they're not cutting too much and experience that amateur level fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I won't. Go on.
Is that going to be something that is going to look at in the future now, where anybody looking to compete in the IMAFs, is there going to be like a national tournament, like? Because I know obviously we are putting on. There was fights being put on different promotions around the country to get that selection. But
no, I don't think you need to have fights or trials because already you have the guy. All you have to do is we have the squad session now. You have an association, so I'm meant to be in charge of it. So what I say is, this thing about having fucking trials does me head in. No, you're part of the squad, and you're on the squad. You turn up at them squad sessions, wherever they are throughout Ireland, you're eligible then to compete for your country. And then we pick the top ranked guys. So what's the point in having a trial if you have a good kid that's, there's Adam Darby, European bronze medalist, 12-1 or something like that. Why should he fight a guy that's 2-1 or 1-0? He's the number one ranked guy in the country. He's selected, whatever. There's 2 spots for every weight anyway. In an ideal world, we would have selections and we would have tournaments, but it's money, and no one's going to put the money up to run a show and to, especially. Realistically, I'd like to do it the way the boxing have you Munster, Ulster, Leinster, Connacht, and then the 4 top guys and each of them provinces come in then to a tournament then. But that's all. That won't happen.
It's going to be a couple of years before we can. Like, is there any movement?
I tell you the truth, I couldn't give a fuck. I'm more interested in going back old school a little bit, more getting the club more developed, putting a lot more time into our own lads. I felt that when I gave a lot of time to the MMA with the UFC, Bellator, Cage Warriors, these big shows, that the gym slacked a little bit, and the jiu-jitsu end of it, they fell apart a little bit. We've big MMA team, but I think you sometimes lose the whole club structure and your sort of ethos when you're getting caught up on all them big shows and the fancy tracksuit and all. So I want to get back more into looking after the clubs and our own affiliations. We've 10 affiliations around the country, so get more into that and push that. Look at that camp we do in Collins every year. That grows and it's big. I want to do more stuff like that, and I let MMA and other people worry about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was only saying last week it was a proud moment when you posted that photograph of all the lads out across the green area in the front of his gym.
We do it every year now. I was in Vegas. The biggest, because there've been smaller ones, and then all of a sudden there was one big one with like 50 lads. Yeah. And I was in Vegas with Connor for a fight, and I saw it popped up on my Facebook, see this photograph and all that, and it just felt like super proud.
That was Candy's idea, that photograph.
It's a great shot. It's iconic. Yeah. It really blew me away. Like, it was one of those ones like, oh, fuck it, actually I did something good here. You know what I mean? And obviously he's all made the effort to fucking come down, and he's doing it every year. It's brilliant. Something I'm looking at every year.
And I had all intentions of doing 2 camps this year. I wanted to do I still in my mind about doing. I want to do like an MMA retreat where it's not a drink and a holiday. It's a serious training camp where we do 3 sessions a day, and it's all it's proper sessions, and it's not just going to be sparring. It's proper weight session and check our weight, and and the whole thing, and maybe do a proper 5-day camp of that.
Yeah, like a professional 5-day camp. Yeah. And everything. Yeah. It's not only the training; it's what you're eating, it's who you're hanging with, what's on going to bed, all that shit.
The whole lot. Yeah, the whole lot. Yeah.
So we were talking about last week. I was after getting into the canoeing just to pass a bit of time with this COVID-19. How are you feeling out there? I see you got into the hunting a bit with Carl. Is that all
doing that a long time
with the lockdown?
No,
I knew you went out, but I've seen a lot more on social media. I've seen a lot more of you sitting in the what he called the little den out in the middle of the field with him.
That's just for the boars, but we do the stalk and the deer stalk, and we do this stuff as well. So watch, hang on there a
sec. He's stalking.
Nobody's gonna guess what he's gonna bring back in front of us.
Oh, here we go. I heard a click. Can you get a takeaway coffee now? Can you?
There we are. Look at that bad boy.
Wow. What's that now, Andy?
That's a Winchester 243.
Right.
He's at the hunting rifle.
So what happens there, Andy? You just go out onto a farmer's land that has wild deer on it, is it?
No. We get one of the lads has a lease up in the mountains. No, you wouldn't be on the farmland. We covered a big area. So we go out, we stalk, we get out before the sunlight, we stalk up a set. I have the dog as well. With the dog, I'll give you a look at him in a minute. We do a stalk, a certain area. The wind has to be right. We could be walking 2 hours up the mountain, or we could be getting into a certain area, and we'll wait then, and we'll look for a deer or two to come along, and we kill them then. We take them in.
Do you need a ticket? Like obviously in the States, you need a permit and
you need a deer license. You need a deer license.
Yeah. And then what? You just break it down there and then.
Do it there and then, yeah. Cut the head off and clean them out and throw them over the shovel. The lads do that. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, that's more car stuff. Yeah.
And then
it's all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Is he gone for more weapons? Is he?
There we are, and then that's for the boards.
The boards.
Oh, the shotgun when they're over.
Shotgun, yeah.
And what sort of boards do you shoot?
And that flies. Pigeon. Not a wood pigeon.
Right.
Wood pigeon.
Is that much eating on a pigeon?
There is a good breast on them.
Yeah.
So I give a few to Robbie and a few of the lads. We keep a few for the lads feed them to some of their animals and the ferrets and that. And then a lot of farmers want them off the land. We do a lot of crow shooting as well.
Right.
I didn't believe it until I went out with Carl. The amount of damage birds do on crops and on farm yards and buildings and stuff. Fuck me, the damage they do.
What sort of damage?
Like the crops itself, they wipe out fields of crops. So the birds land and they flatten it and then they're constantly eating it. Or say like the food stores or for cattle and stuff, they're in it, eating it, they're shitting in it. They're doing damage to buildings, to wiring, to fucking roof, and be surprised.
Right.
Yeah, so a lot of farmers want you to come out and get rid of the crows, yeah.
Crows as well.
As soon as they legalise hunting with a compound bow will join us.
No, you wouldn't be no good for us. We'd be taking shots 300 or 400 yards away with the rifle, more sometimes.
What about the seagull situation in Dublin? Is there a cull on them?
No, there should be, but they're fucking everywhere. So that's one other thing. I would be out towards like Navan, out towards sort of Kells direction with Carl, doing a bit of shooting. And the amount of seagulls, there's fucking thousands of them inland. Thousands of them.
Isn't it mad? Like when you were a kid, you didn't see them unless there was a storm.
Well, I only had this conversation. When we were kids, Colin, if there was bad weather coming, the seagulls all came out in towards Donovan. You seen them. Oh, storm on the way. Now they're fucking here all the time.
Is it because the excess of food that's left over, do you think?
Food, yeah.
And because they don't really do anything, they just scavenge, don't they?
Scavenge, yeah. They're some fucking size.
They're big, aren't they?
Rats with wings, aren't they?
I think they were, there was a thing in Hout about them. They were trying to get them moved out of Hout because you can't even get a bag of chips to cut things or attacking people.
Right.
And it's gone mad out there.
Them and the sea lions. Obese fat lads. That was the problem. Don't feed the sea lions; they were getting too fat, weren't they?
Yeah.
Andy, how do you see the jiu-jitsu and MMA gyms fared now after all this?
Well, come here and tell you, it does me head in. We keep saying we'll be one of the last back, and I'm saying to myself, well, hang on a minute. Once a commercial gym opens where they're going to share a changing room, they're going to share a machine. No, for a football, what are you not going to not allowed to fucking handle the ball, do any throw-ins or Gaelic passing, or the goalkeeper's not allowed to grab the fucking ball. You know, once any type of sport comes back, we should be all back. In an ideal world, it would be really, really great if everyone could get a test and you come in with your clear cert and you get tested and you train. But that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to change the way gyms operate, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't know.
It will for a couple of weeks, I think, and then we just get back to our old habits again.
Yeah, well, you know, so at the start, I was saying I was starting to enjoy a bit of a break because, like I said, I'd be busy and gone most weekends, and every night I'm gone and I'm in the house. But you know, today I was starting looking around this week, and I went in town to collect the bike and said, "There's loads of fucking people working here. There's loads of people getting on with their life."
Yeah,
just under the radar a little bit. Nobody gives a fuck. You know, people are getting fed up. I think if it goes past June, I think people will just say, "Fuck this." They'll start going back to work. You know.
Well, Trump just got rid of the WHO, didn't he?
Yeah. Well, you know something. I think Trump is the worst in the world for explaining things. But I was doing a bit of watching a few things on BBC World News the other day.
Yeah.
And the amount of stuff that goes missing from the World Health Organization with all the countries. They were saying one of the countries here tonight, like one of the African countries, 3 million was taken for the fucking government leaders or something, you know, out of money that they got from the World Health Organization. So he's probably right in certain things he says, but the way he says them is fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Look, if you're getting funding something, if you're getting funding from somewhere and you come back and you don't have answers for them, you know, what's the funding for? You know, they need answers, they need results. And if you're not,
see, the problem is as well. The problem is nobody fucking knows what to do with this. So people are saying, isolation, not isolation. Nobody knows. You know what I mean? So it's all trial and error, you know. But I do think if it goes past June, people will get a pain in their bollocks.
Yeah. The problem here is a tourist, and like yesterday, I shot a film yesterday. There's a bar called the Green Room, Andy. I don't know if you were ever in it. And the guy that owns the bar closed the bar when all things happened. And then he realised that there was a lot of people in the town that are relying on tourism. So, like, say, Pedro has 2 jobs in the summer, and then the wife has 3 jobs doing cleaning apartments or whatever. They're all gone. And last week there was 350 families that couldn't feed their kids. So I went down and shot a film of he's turned his kitchen into like a soup kitchen, and they package all the thing, all volunteers, and send all the food to the families in the gaffs. So because there's no real dole system here, you know.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Mad. So people are worried about certain things, but like in the space of a few weeks here, there's a bunch of people don't eat. Real. I know,
and that's the thing I was saying here. People were saying it's going to be worse than the 1920s fucking recession. And I said, hang on a minute. You still going to get coffee and insomnia.
Yeah.
People are still ordering Chinese. It's not that fucking bad.
No.
You went getting 350 quid.
I got a Yamamori last night. Did you see?
No.
Did you? Yeah.
Yeah. I got the hook up.
Did you? And like I say, people are gonna start kind of like testing the water a little bit, putting their foot in and realizing, you know, and getting on with it. But I think the slowest thing to change will be the freedom of travel. I think that the borders being open and things like that. But I think businesses will start going back from.
But Colin, listen.
Yeah.
There was a woman in Dublin Airport yesterday, cleaner.
Yeah.
Right, and she's probably going to get sacked. And she stops these 2 people coming out of a family getting off the plane. She said, don't mind me. She said, I work here. She said, where did you come from?
Right.
He came from Uganda. Now, a lovely family.
Right.
And he said, well, you stopped coming in. She said, no, we were stopped in our own airport. So when we got to Dublin, nobody asked us that. Nobody asked where we are going, where we are coming from. No check. There was no papers given out to us to tell us advice around. No, just go on your way, you know. So that's the problem. That's what annoys me. That there's my gym closed down. I'm losing fucking a fortune. I've 2 gyms to pay rent. And as the people forget, you still owe your rates, you still owe your rent, you still owe your RSB, you still owe. There's idiots out there thinking they're getting a couple of free months. You're not getting a couple of free months. You still have to pay your mortgage.
Yeah.
You know. So when you see that and you see people coming in, that you know, and the other thing then I was watching was the strawberry pickers coming in. I understand they come in every year. That's no problem. The Irish people won't do the job.
Yeah.
So I can understand Keeling's getting them in, but maybe you should have been done a little bit better at that. Maybe they should have had some sort of health care that they got over there and they can show that coming in. And maybe they're brought somewhere here and then, you know, they could have done a little bit more, a better PR job on it.
Yeah.
But a fellow was telling me for the last 15 years, they fly all the staff in because the Irish people won't do the job. You know what I mean? Right. So I just think the PR end of it was wrong the way they've done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's something that people need to look at. You know, there should be 160 walking age, like the men that the age of walking that can go out legit and do strawberry picking.
You won't do it. It's too hard.
It's real hard.
Won't do it.
And it's very little money as well.
You used to do it years ago.
When you were a kid.
Around where we live.
Yeah.
You could see there, and you used to go pick yourself, and you weighed in your food, you bought it yourself, all around Concealy, Port Marney. The strawberry fields there. You go, you get your basket, you put it, you go pick your own, and then you go to weigh them, you pay for them yourself. You know what I mean?
Well, look at somebody on the scratch that's not doing a lot, you know, can go out and do a couple of hours, I'm sure. They did.
Yeah, but they're on the scratch for a reason, because they don't want to fucking do the bleeding couple of hours. That's the problem.
Yeah.
More money on the scratch, probably.
Here's the other thing. I don't know how they do it, because I'm going off my head sitting around doing nothing. Like, literally.
The day's not long enough for me, to be honest with you.
No, well, that's unless I have some sort of structure to the day where I get up and I have the day planned out, but
well, that's what I do. So what I do, Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, I get up, I try and stay in a little bit late. I wake up about 10 past. I try and stay in bed at 9ish. I get up then, have a cup of coffee. I do. Kevin Hendricks sends me a workout. It's like one of those tablet workouts, 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. About 25-minute workout, 26 minutes. I do that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday night I run. And then Tuesday, Thursday day, I cycle to the park, run the park and cycle around the park and cycle home. So I'm busy enough. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's only, well, I was enjoying the break myself, but it's only for so long. I need to be doing something, you know.
Realistically, me as well, like financially as well, and for the gym, you know, I'm hoping. I'd love May the 5th, but I'm hoping June the 1st.
Yeah. Well, me and you are in a similar boat, Andy. You know, if people aren't walking they can't pay gym memberships. You know, if people aren't working, they can't
Well,
get
I've been lucky now that a good few of my members have still paid their money, so I was able to pay the rent and the bills.
Isn't that good, though, isn't
it?
Yeah.
That's a good thing. I mean, a lot of people, like, for instance, in different gyms, obviously the first thing they're going to do is not pay.
Yeah. I have a good few. So I paid the rent on my gym this month, and I was able to pay my mortgage, and I was able to pay the bills, like the phone bills for the gym, utilities. I paid all that. The lads, and a good few lads, well, when I say good few, a certain section of them still paid. And plus, I got a lot of people that aren't on the bank that I do cash jobs with, drop money into me. I want to pay. I got a lot of parents ringing me that have kids in the gym wanting to pay. And I said, no, look, we don't need it. Come back to me next month and we'll see what happens. Yeah. And we're the same. My kids do dancing, and we actually went down and dropped the money into her dancing instructor there. Now, the dancing are doing a great job because it was very hard for us to teach classes. My young one is doing 3 classes a day, nearly, for 2-hour class. And what they do is they have, say, someone in Scotland teaching a class for their school, and then they'll do this class for the Scottish ones. And so they're still training away, so it's good.
It's tough for I to see my own sister and Martina, they'd be out the back and they'd be doing that morning strength and conditioning class online with an instructor. But for someone that does jiu-jitsu, it's, you know, you can show someone a couple of sit-throughs and shrimps and forward rolls, but unless you're grappling, it's not the same. It's not. No. No. So hopefully it's the sooner the better we get back. And I was only saying to Colin last week, it's time for a comeback.
Time for a comeback?
You're saying that years.
Get your shit together. Almost a black belt, you know what I mean? Get your shit together.
There's no such thing as a comeback. That's the other thing with martial arts.
Nah, you're either martial artist or you're not.
But the other thing is everyone's in this. Fuck the belts. I do it as a lifestyle. That's me life as martial arts. Even look at my little ribbons in here. Look at my little things behind me. Look, I have little pictures of different martial arts bullshit. My kids' trophies in the room. I'll tell you what I have. I'll show you now. Look, there you are. Yes, there's the owl. I'm gonna put a light on. There you are. The owl. See that?
Yeah.
That's the military Olympics in 1999.
Wow.
90 kilos.
Is it?
Yeah, look here. Look at that one.
81 kilos.
Yeah, look, young lad. Look. There's the French one. Look.
Fucking hell. That's you there, Andy, is it?
Yeah, Tourney International to Paris, 1999. I'll give you a better focal photograph.
Hang back to that.
The speed up there. Hang on.
Someone's got to make a meme out of that. Oh, good luck.
Look at this.
I tell you, wear them well, Andy. You wear them well.
You better believe it.
You wear them well.
Here's one for you. Look, I'll give you this a bit of crack. Fuck all this serious about history of MMA and all. Fuck that. I was telling the lads before, I found the school report.
Right, go on.
Belonged to me when I was a kid. And I never thought I was a confident sort of kid. I always thought I was pretty shy of that and stuff. So this is from 1981.
Right.
So the end of the school year. Were you born then, Larry?
1981, I was only born 5th of July, small baby.
This is actually a month before you were born. So it has here, I'll give you me results from me end of year test right now. So
what class is this?
I don't know, 81, I don't know. Primary school, like fucking
4th or 5th?
No, before that I'd say. I was born in 73, so I went to school and say 70. No, this is probably like second class. This is your communion probably, you know what I mean?
Oh, you still had the communion money.
Yeah, this is our religion. 8, try as hard. 8 or 10, let's go try as hard. Irish, 8, good. Reading, good. That's very good. English, speaking, sport, or story writing is bad. Andrew's reading is very far behind. Yeah, he'll have to work every day during the summer to bring it up, so it wasn't great at that. Maths, a lot of work needed to be done. Right now, here's one now. Nature study, good. Singing, try is very hard.
Art
and craft, good. Now, here's one for you, and it sort of shows you the route where we sort of life went to. So, physical education, very good, but a bit boisterous. All right, so then we go to work habits. Gives full attention to classwork, lacks concentration. So I was a daydreamer in school.
Right.
And what that saying to me there, I was good at sports, I was very boisterous, but I was a daydreamer. And then it goes down to personal development. I thought this was very good. No problems here. Andrew oozes confidence. So that shows you I must have been a happy, good, fit, good kid that was into sports.
Yeah.
I think
conduct very good.
Just like a lot of young fellas these days, though, they're either academic or they're arty and sporty. You know?
Yeah. Here's one for you. Punctuality very good. I only missed 182 classes out of 184. I only missed 2 days. I was always in fucking school. Never played.
Dragging you out of bed.
No, that just shows you. That shows you direction your life goes down. You're not afraid to walk. You know, that's the other thing as well, is that someone was saying to me, the reason I'm probably enjoying this bit of a break is that since I've fucking left school, I've always been employed. I've never been unemployed.
Yeah. And that's
so. I've never had a stage in my life where for a few weeks I've done nothing. Where I've always, from the age of 16, I've worked.
That's the Irish mammy dragging you up every morning. I'm the same. I was looking at school reports, Jason, a year or so ago. And I was my punctuality and my attendance was like 100% or 98%.
Yeah,
that carries on. Like even now, like you'll never find a day where I'm late or I miss a day just for the sake of missing. Come here.
Then you didn't carry out your fucking jiu-jitsu.
Well, I'm still a jiu-jitsu nerd, in spirit.
What?
I'm still a jiu-jitsu nerd.
You gotta get the fucking.
I do get a bit nostalgic when all these Facebook memories come up and they show me rolling up in the gym. So I think as soon as the lockdown lift, I'll have to make the trip back across the toll bridge.
I started getting back into my katana again. Into the weapons again. Yeah. It was something I did a long time ago, but like I tore down black belt in ninjutsu. And then a lot of the stuff was the weaponry. Actually went back and met my old ninjutsu teacher when it was back in Dublin there, Brian McCarthy. Just wanted to thank him for all he did for me, that kind of way. And then I started kind of messing around with the stuff again, because you don't always get to say that to people, if you know what I mean.
Of course. And that's what I'm saying about. There's no such thing as a comeback from martial arts. You're just a martial artist, and that's it.
Yeah.
You live the life of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was interesting.
Here, Larry, look, you like this, Larry. Look at this.
Go on.
Like this.
Retro. Yeah, are we in the man cave there, is it?
Oh,
We're in the man cave.
Yeah.
In the man cave.
Deep in the man cave.
Give it a tour. There's the, remember Connor's fight, look at the ticket.
All right.
That's the one that Siri fought on.
That's right.
Yeah, the man cave here. Look, a couple of little pictures. Gun safe, television. Few pictures around it.
Up there.
We'll have a game. Look, we'll have a game. Look. Remember that game?
Just for all the youth listening, this is what happens when you get to 40 or over. You get a little man cave with video games in it and guns and pictures of your martial arts career.
That's it. It's the only way to be, isn't it?
Yeah. Because or else you're gonna get a car and you start fixing that, or a motorbike out in the garage.
I know.
Are you into mechanics at all, Andy?
What?
Are you into mechanics at all?
No, brutal and that like that.
Are you? Like, that was
brutal. You tried to change your brake fluid, did you, last week in the Jeep?
You know what was wrong with it?
Don't follow YouTube. That's what you don't do. You don't
no, everything's on YouTube. I mean, it's the fucking greatest.
YouTube, everything. I YouTube everything.
Everything. I learned everything. I learned how to video edit on YouTube. I learned how to shoot films on YouTube. I ran with it then afterwards. I learned most of the stuff that I know is with a laptop and an internet connection.
Yeah, I tell you what I would like to learn. Like, I have a couple of cameras here. I'd like to learn how to take proper photographs and videos and do them little videos and films, especially for my own gym. like even there now, like I was out there last week and I was cycling down to the park and I'm cycling up down and fucking little rivers and like going through tunnels and bridges. I said, yeah, I should be recording all this and putting it all together, but I haven't got a blatant clue.
I was the same, Andy. And then what happened was that's why I started doing a video blog, because it was just like it'll make me practice. And then I started doing one a day every day. And like yesterday, I made a film yesterday on 10 minutes notice. A guy literally rang me and he said, can you shoot that film for me? I was like, well, give me 20 minutes. Come up and give me 20 minutes. Went there, shot a film for the day.
Dad, having a nice little camera and all. I don't know where I got that. I think my dad got this. It's my dad's.
What is it?
A little Fuji film thing.
Yeah, great.
Little video.
That's what I'm shooting with now, Fuji. Fucking great.
But don't ask me what type this is or anything, but it's fucking...
They're all great compared to what they used to be. I remember working on a documentary with a mate of mine 20 years ago. He shot a film about the horses on the north side. You know, the inner city kids with the horses.
Yeah.
And like he brought over like the whole car was full up with all the gear. I picked them up from the airport with all the big, huge camera and all the shit. And when you look at the footage, it's muck because the digital stuff has got so good now that something the size of this can make such a fucking profound image, you know? And it's
mad, isn't it?
Great to have it. Great to have it.
Do you know what I was actually saying? Who was I saying it to? When we were doing when Colin, when you were doing your vlog and when I was doing that Lebowski live series, if the house burned down tomorrow and we lose all the photo albums and stuff like that, in 20 years' time, I can still go onto YouTube and show me grandkids. Look, there's your dad when he was 13, and there I am when I was 40 or 38, whatever age I am. You know, you never lose it.
I've been expecting it though. I always look at the news and you see people and you lose everything in a flood. I've always kind of wondered what that's like to be like. So I always expect that to happen. What happens if you lose everything? Because it's possible, right? But you still have stuff that you made, and because it's just stuff at the end of the day. But if you have like memories that you've got down on video, like my grandfather, like I never used to get on with him. He lived next door to me, and I used to go in once a year for Christmas to get me fucking Christmas box off him. But at one stage he was a mad fucker. But if you video that and put it on YouTube when he was 25 or whatever, instead of being a grumpy old man, do you know the kind of way I would have got on with him? But I never saw that aspect to him.
It's like what you were saying. Like it'll never be lost, you know, and it's something that you can always look back at.
Sure, I look back at my ones and it makes me laugh because it brings me back to where I was.
The trip we did in Lagos, when we were there for 5 days, I did a vlog every day. I think you did one every day as well. Yeah. But that's like people that were on that trip can always look back on that and go, do you remember them 5 days? That was an experience. And if you didn't video it, your memory's going to be different to mine. Yeah. That's what really gets me. Well, if you look at Andy, if he spoke to lads that were on those teams with him in Japan and all these spots, you'd be thinking like, hang on, that doesn't rack up to what I remember. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. And who's telling the truth? I don't know. Or what really did happen, you know? I know I went there, here's the picture of me on the fucking football. And then when you see the video of actually what happened, it's completely different to both of you. Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that video I was saying to you about me finding from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at us, and the jiu-jitsu we're doing, it was actually good. And I'm thinking, no, we were 20 years ago. No, it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
You know, you started to get.
Yeah, no, because you showed me that, and it's good stuff. But if you hadn't seen that, you just think, was shit. Then it was no use. Then but you weren't.
No,
and you were hanging. You were hanging with them as well. That's the fucking thing, you know.
Yeah.
I suppose that's just a.
So is this camp going to go ahead? Do you think? Do you think we'll be back to normal for October?
If you'd asked me last week, I would have said no.
Yeah.
But today, I think yes.
Why?
I think because what Trump's done. Yeah. And reason being is because that economy was on its way out. And if he gets a jump start on every other economy and starts manufacturing stuff there, because there's so many people unemployed now, and he doesn't want to, do business with the Chinese no more. All of a sudden, that starts to build back up again. The other economies are going to say, hey, listen, put the kids back into school, isolate the old and the weak, and let's get back to this shit.
Yeah, and the Portuguese need the money. They need the tourists, don't they?
They're not going to get it this year. So just because of the border control thing, I mean, they might have the locals, the Lisbonites, but they don't spend jack shit. You know, when you go on holidays and you walk into a bar in Greece or Turkey or Spain or Portugal, you're Irish. Come on in. They're delighted to see you. Not because you're Irish, Andy, because you spend a few bob and you realise the guy's got to pay the bills and here, I'll buy a drink on the way down to that restaurant every day. Keeps them in business. They don't do that here. So they'll come down, they'll have 10 of them sit down, they'll buy one coffee and take up the whole table.
Yeah.
You know, so they don't have the same kind of like, there's a lot of different reasons for that. They used to be, well, they're kind of socialists, but they used to be a dictator until 71. So they don't do business, they do families. You know, that kind of way. Whereas we do business and family, but they're more into kind of just take it easy. You're wondering, you know, if I had this bar, how much would I make? You know, they don't look at it like that. You know.
So, Andy, what date is the camp happening, or are you hoping for it to happen?
No, it's booked and all. The hotel and all is booked. It's the last weekend of September into October. It's the 27th, is it, the 4th or 29th or something like that, is it, Colin?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. And
the last Wednesday of September. Like, people have flights and all booked. Flights are booked, hotel is booked, camp is booked.
I would have said last week no, but now this week I say yeah.
Yeah.
And is there places left on it, or is it booked out, or what's the story?
Yeah, there's always like that. We're never full. We always fit you in.
Like, who's going?
That's just someone always says to me. It's for a lot of people. Yeah, so what? We'll add another class on.
But it works.
We'll classes up. We've loads of places.
Because when he told me the first time there was like 50 odd, I was like, geez, you won't get 50 odd in. And last year there was a 62 or something, Andy.
Yeah. Oh, we get them in all right.
And it works. It works.
Yeah.
And they tell you the other thing. You wouldn't know there was one person on the mat when they leave. The place is spotless after it. And that's down to you, Andy.
That's candy.
No, that's down to you. Because when my lads leave, there's fucking shit everywhere.
Oh, but you have to treat it like your own gym, isn't it? We're there, it's our own gym. That's why
that's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's great. It's a pleasure to have you down. Like, I love it. It's just because then you get people that haven't been before and you see what you saw when you got there first, you know?
Yeah, it's a great spot.
It is.
What coaches are going over?
Well, so far, myself, Robbie Redzer as usual, and then Roger Dardis and I think Fergal Quinlan.
Fergal again. Fergal's a good lad.
The invite.
Roger's family's going over, so.
Yeah. I seen he did a podcast with Roger and then they kicked you off, did he?
No, I just told him to fuck off. I'm too good for it. No, I couldn't get over. I couldn't get over for the last couple.
I've never been to your academy. It looks like a nice little spot.
I don't know who Roger is. Who's Roger?
Roger, he's the Marcelo Garcia fella here, and a really nice guy.
Good Foxy, is it?
Yeah, good jiu-jitsu player, really nice guy. Yeah, tough as nails.
Right, he's Irish, is he?
Irish, yeah.
Right.
Lived in New York and trained in Marcelo's. Come home as a brown belt.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Nice guy.
Big heavy side control pass.
Yeah.
Hinge you with that side control pass.
Yeah, nice guy.
Yeah. So Roger, Fergal, Redzer, Robbie, and yourself.
Yeah, because we're probably going to divide up a little bit. I might have MMA and jiu-jitsu. We usually just concentrate on this. Might just do 2 different sections and have, let Redzer look after the MMA lads and see. And we'll see what happens. It's not finalised yet.
So end of September.
Are you coming down?
Hit Andy up if you want a spot in the camp.
Are you coming down?
Huh?
Are you coming down?
He's not allowed to want anymore.
That's a very. And the other thing as well, Andy, it's not just like anyone from Team Ryano. It's anyone that trains that wants to come down. Like
anybody. It's open. We don't. Listen, people say to me, like, I get a call. Say someone could be coming to my gym and thinking, oh, I'm visiting Ireland for the weekend, but I only have a guy that has a so-and-so patch in it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No politics in my gym. You're more than welcome. And it's the same on the camp. We've always had people from outside the team. It's not a Team Ryano camp. It's just a jiu-jitsu weekend. Bit of crack, bit of laugh, learn a few skills, have a few beers, enjoy the weather. That's what it's about. You know what I mean? It's not too serious.
Jug of wine.
Yeah. I tell you what was a great example of that. Do you remember the Valko brothers?
Yuri Malko, yeah.
Yuri, right? And Yuri had fought Redzer.
That's right, yeah.
And I got a message off Yuri because Yuri'd been here before with Mike Russell, and he asked me could he come down, and I was like, fuck's sake, because I knew he'd want to come down to have a go off Redzer because he got beaten.
Yeah.
All right. And then Andy said, yeah, no problem. I was like, all right. And the first thing he did was put the two of them to train together, and that was it. And they got on great. It was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah. No bullshit. Smash it. It's sport.
Yeah.
Smash it. I travel around the world and training camps on different mats. Nobody gives a fuck.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. And it's great that people can become friends as well as competitors. Because at the end of the day, that's the guy that motivates you to get out of bed and fucking train. You're connected to them at some level. Yeah. I think it's brilliant.
Any plans to go back over to San Diego, Andy?
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, I was meant to go this year because get me third degree this year, and Rodrigo was talking about it, and so I'll either have to go to him or he'll come to me. But I'd say it could be next year before we get over the way things are going. But I would love to go back over. Yeah,
that's where he's.
I love it. I'd lived there. I had money.
Going over.
When I win the lotto, that's where I'm going. PB, San Diego.
San Diego, yeah.
Pacific Beach, yeah. It's lovely.
Actually, I was looking on your memories yesterday. 8 years ago yesterday, we had Noguera and Cavalcante.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. I remember, right, I went to roll with Noguera and I threw a Peruvian necktie on him and he shook me off like I was a fucking 4-year-old.
Yeah, nice fella.
I went to roll with Cavalcante and I tried a flying armbar on him and he pulled his hand out of the way and I folded myself on the mat.
He wasn't as friendly. He wasn't as friendly as Noguera. He was a nice guy now, but Noguera
he was after winning the Strike Force Light Heavyweight Championship, and then
there's no bullshit. Noguera just came and trained around everybody. There's no bullshit with him.
I remember Noguera pulling up, and he was in Mick O'Hagan's car, and he got out the front of it, and he was bleeding in bits. Remember, he used to have to stretch for an hour before he rolled.
When he fucking finished teaching the class, he was 2 hours stretching after the class.
But you know what? He rolled with everybody. Anybody that wanted to roll with him at the end, he rolled with them. That was what I thought was great with it.
Andy, what's your ideas on stretching?
Don't mind. It's something I don't do enough of, and I should do it.
Yeah.
I get in a bad habit of stop stretching, and because you're teaching and getting everyone off the class again, instead of judo, we always stretched, and we always did gymnastic stuff, So I think it is very important, yeah.
Because I just got into it only recently, and I've made it part of my daily routine now because I've got a bit of time. So I do a good 2-hour session in the morning of just mobility, moving around, moving with the weapon, moving without the weapon, doing handstands against all that shit. And I never used to do it. And I was starting to lose the range that I already had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I understand the whole concept of it now. Was before I was like, fuck it. I think it's who you start with as well, Andy, a lot of the time, isn't it?
Yeah.
If they stretch, you'd stretch, But
you have to do it, yeah.
Yeah. That's something I just got back into.
The jiu-jitsu class when I started jiu-jitsu was the warm-up would be like half an hour of the class, like as in like warm-ups and techniques and stretching before you did like proper, learning techniques. And then I think when I went to Donamead and I was I'd be doing the kids class, and then I'd help Reza with the teenagers and the adults class. You never stretched, and I think that sort of fell out of when you were going to the gym.
It's getting in the habit, isn't it? Just even if you're at home sitting watching telly, get on the ground, start stretching. It's just getting in the habit of it.
Do you know what's a great little leeway to doing it, Andy? Those yoga ball things.
Yeah.
Sitting on one of them, because I've always find when he started to lie down stretching, I'd get distracted and daydream and start looking at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like yourself, right? But I found with one of those balls, I'd sit on it and I can move your hips on it, and then I start moving from there. But if I sit down, I tend to lie down and I'm looking at the ceiling again.
Do you know who does great stretching videos? Do you ever see Jody Kennedy's videos?
Yeah.
Jody does some good stuff.
Yeah, Jody's he actually does it. He used to do a little bit of jiu-jitsu and stuff, but I find like
when he's trained to us for a while, yeah.
Yeah, but I find like
Jody Kennedy. He was in the army. I think it would have been in Baldoyle or Kilbarrack. He would have trained with us.
Yeah.
But he puts up daily videos like movement and stretching and handstands.
Where is he on Instagram?
On Instagram, yeah, really good stuff.
Send me his name.
It doesn't look like it's taxing on the body, but it looks like it's changed up all the time. There's so many different.
I'll tell you the only thing I don't agree with that sort of stuff. When that becomes your primary, which your primary should be martial arts at the end of the day, you should know how to like kick and punch and strangle some cunt. Yeah. When that becomes your primary, you start to lose. When it all boils down to it, at the end of the day, Andy's going to strangle anybody. You might do a better handstand or you might do better splits. Yeah. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I'll just strangle you. That kind of way. So when that becomes the primary and you forget what it all boils down to at the end of the day, being able to fight your ground and stand your ground. I think, I think they should stay primarily the martial arts and then add the other stuff on instead of the handstand stretching becoming the primary and forgetting what it's really about at the end of the day.
Right, Muppets, I'm going. I have to go.
Any shout out you want to give to anybody,
Just a big thanks to the lads in the Bike Institute for hooking me up.
They're good boys, aren't they? Good boys. They're good. Do you know what
nice boy.
You should go out with them for a spin, Andy. Go out with Keelan for a spin.
I fucking barely get into them in the bike. Never mind. Give me 6 months. Give me 6 months.
Yeah, you should, because it's good for you, and especially when you go out with other people, you learn the skill by watching them as well.
Yeah, that's one thing I like. So years ago, when I was in the army, I would have cycled a lot in the army and stuff. And that's one thing. I'm on the mountain bike the last week, and even just learning how to use the gears, it's mad. Yeah. I'm in the wrong gear, right gear. My legs are burning. Hang on, I'm only going down the fucking road. Yeah. Then I'm going through the park. I'm in the wrong. I had to get off the bike and up a hill because I was in the wrong gear. And,
yeah.
So learning all that again is good.
Yeah, and you'll do a lot. The curve will be a lot better if you go out with somebody.
Yeah.
And Carl goes with him, which is his dad. So Carl.
I'm talking to him.
Yeah, good lad. Good. I know him here. He's one of my good friends. But it's a kind of case go out with them. Carl goes out with them as well. They do a little spin up around the hills. It's great fun. Recommend it.
Yeah. I went out in the car with the first couple of hours. Right, come on, good luck. Thanks, lads.
See you later on.
See you later, boss. Take it easy.
Thanks,
Good luck,
Andy.
motherfuckers. Good luck.
Yeah,
right.
That's it.
Until next week, from myself and the Ninja.
Hang on. Who are we going to have on next week?
Who do you want to have on next week? Anybody. Pick anybody you want.
Ido Portal.
Portal.
I'll give him a shit. I'll use my contacts.
He's on your mailing list. He ain't on my mailing list.
Me and actually, you know what? Like when I met him first, I didn't think we were going to get along at all.
And you got along.
The minute he walked in the door, we became friends. And I can't say that about many people. The minute he walked in the door, I knew we were going to be friends. Instantly. Smart guy. Good guy. So yeah, I'll give him a shout. Get him on.
So for people watching, who is Ido Portal?
Ido is, it's hard to describe who Ido Portal is actually. He's a maestro basically. Very hyper intelligent guy. Helps out Connor with his movement. No, he wouldn't be a savant. He'd be like he's just a kind of like he's a mover. But not honestly, like he's a very, very, very well taught, highly intelligent guy that I've learned an awful lot from. That if you scratch below the surface with, like everything from he does like a lot of the movement stuff and handstands and juggling and things like that. But it's the fundamentals of what he teaches is it really makes me think about a lot of stuff. Like he's showed me a lot on rehabbing and injuries that I've had or getting over certain things. I've learned an awful lot with him. I mean, the first time I actually trained with him, he came to Vegas to help out Connor, and there was nobody in the gaff, and I opened the door. There he was. We just hit it off and showed him where he's staying, blah blah blah. And then the next morning, he just got up. He's like, "Anyone want to train?" I was like, "Fuck, I do." So it's just me and him out in the backyard doing little drills, and the way it takes you a while to kind of get people's vibe or what their ethics are, because like I found a lot of the stuff with Ido, I could never, and I said it to him as well, I said, like, I never really got what you were about because you were always a little bit vague. Do you know what I mean? I wasn't too, like, what's the basics of it? Do you know what I mean? Because it's very hard, and I get it now. It's very hard to describe what he does. But I tell you what he does, what he is. He's a phenomenal teacher. He's a phenomenal master of controlling a room. It's a very different thing teaching a class and owning a room. And when you see him, when you see somebody walk in, like you say, now Gary will own a room, where somebody else might just come in and teach a class. It's a very different thing, and there's very rare people that can own a room. And I had the privilege of going to a seminar he did in Dublin there last year, and he owned the room. And I like to know how to do that. It's a very different skill set. Anyone can teach a class, but can you own the whole room and make everyone go through fire? And he's a very interesting cat. Really enjoy. He's a good friend of mine now at this stage. So yeah, I'll give him a shout and see if we can get him on.
Next week, we'll have Ido Portal. If you know who he is and you want to know anything about him, you got a question for him, hit up Colin on the Himself and the Ninja podcast page or on Instagram.
Yeah, because I got to do up the we have the Himself and Ninja page on the Instagram, and just throw me a message on that or DM me.
Other than that, until next week. Check out the Quarantine Cup, by the way.
You look good. You look like a fucking romper stomper with that jacket on. It's like fucking American History X there with your fucking.
It's good retro with It's bomber jacket.
Looks good. You got to have a bomber jacket. I've got the actually Alpha jacket, the original.
Well, look, I'm not as stylish as you yet. My wardrobe
That's true.
That's as big as yours. One day.
True. Get your priorities right. Right.
Till next week. Us.